I'm here with Kristy Walden of Fire Mountain Gems and Beads, and Kristy's going to show us how to make this really interesting bracelet, and I love this bracelet. But you know, as I look closely at it, it really reminds me of a tree branch.
It is a tree branch.
Is that where you got the inspiration?
Exactly. This is a cherry branch from a tree in my backyard. And I kept looking at all of the wrinkles and all of the texture that was in the bark.
Okay.
And I thought that would be a really neat bracelet.
I love that.
Then you have to figure out how you're going to do that. So I used a 2-part silicone putty mold mix.
Now, how do you know how large to make the bracelet?
Well, once you've made your mold mix, then you have to measure your fist.
Okay.
And you put your tape measure right here on your thumb, and you go over your knuckles.
Gotcha.
Because that's what's going to come in, going in through the bracelet. So here, it's 9 inches long.
Right.
So I need to make sure that this tree branch is going to be the 9 inches.
So how do you mold make your mold again?
The mold mix is a 2-part, and you have to mix it together to get it to be one color.
So you take a little from each one.
Exactly.
Okay.
You just keep working it and working it, working it.
So it all becomes one.
So it all becomes one. And then when it dries, and after you've made your mold, it hardens.
Okay. Look at that.
Exactly.
And how long does it take for it to harden?
It takes about 20 minutes for it to get good and hard. And then you pull this guy out and you
Love
clean
that.
it up. It is fun. But the texture of the whole thing is right in there.
It's a great texture.
Isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, what's next?
Well, then we're going to use the art clay silver. We're going to use 50 grams. And it comes in little packets like this.
Okay.
And I've already put it together.
So when you take out the packets and then
Right.
you just...
I keep it moist.
Right. That's a good tip so that you can still use it.
So that it
stays
exactly.
not dry.
So that you can use it. I could come back to this a week later and it would still be usable.
Great.
But you have to knead it. And then you have to keep it all in one lump. You can't piece it in here. You have to press it through. Now I'll roll it out. And I need to roll it into like a snake. Just to get it started to go into this shape.
Okay.
You can't piece it in there, so you have to keep pressing it.
So it's got to be just one big, long
It's got to be
mold.
one long mold. And you just keep pressing and pressing, pushing it in.
Stretching it.
Pushing it in and pushing it in and stretching it in.
Okay.
Do you see how it's just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing? We need to go to all the way to the
So
end.
now, when you get that all pressed in, how long do you have to keep it in there?
It comes right out.
Oh,
Hold
it does?
on.
Okay.
I'm going to take this and roll it a little bit, too, because it's already started. See how it lifts up?
Oh, yeah.
Keeps moving. So I need it to go down to the end. And I have plenty of clay here. So I keep pushing it in.
None of it's wasted.
Nope, you don't waste a bit of this. You save every little bit. Here we go. Getting there.
And she's going deep into the mold.
And it goes right straight into the mold. Okay.
Great.
Then we take it right out. There isn't any waiting time at all. And if you look at it, there it is.
That.
It's a tree branch.
It's the branch. Okay, what's up next?
Then I take this stylus, which is just a point tool, and you clean it up. And you have to do it fairly quickly because we have to wrap it
Right, before it dries.
before it dries.
Exactly.
So
Or else
this-
you'll have a nice art clay stick.
Absolutely. A silver stick. That quickly. I'll take that up. Take all of that off.
Now, even all that excess, would you just
The
add
excess,
it to something
yes,
else?
I save all the excess.
Perfect. There we go.
Okay. Then I use this as a bracelet mandrel, and I wrap it around, and I attach it to itself.
Gotcha.
Okay. And one end there was easier to attach. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the syringe type clay and use it as a paste.
Oh.
Okay? Instead of using a paintbrush and using the paste, I like the syringe. It's a nice consistency.
I'll put that on for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you put it back on top of itself.
And that's what kind of locks it into
And
place.
it locks it in.
Perfect.
Okay.
Now, how long does it? No,
Then
what do you do next
the
after
dry.
that?
That has to dry, and it can't dry on top of a heat plate. It can't go into a dehydrator. It can't do anything. It's got to dry by itself.
Now, would you put the thing for the dangle in now?
Now the next is, since this is wet, you've got to put your dangle if you want to hang off beads. Okay, so the dangle goes right in, and all you do is fit it right into the clay.
Yeah,
there you go.
You see it there. There it is. So you just put it right in.
You put it right in, and you let it dry in there. Now I'm going to take all these little bits and put them and save them. Right.
And how long does it take for it to dry?
It's going to take overnight.
Okay.
Because like I said, you're not putting it into any artificial drying time.
Right. So then after it's dry, we have one here that's dry, which
now
I
we
love.
have a dry one.
So now what do you start
we
doing?
need to clean it. You need to make sure that you don't have any rough edges, because the rough edges are going to scratch you. So all you're doing is you're sanding it away.
Great. And so once you have it sanded,
so once you've got it completely sanded, then it's going to have to be fired. It has to be completely dry, and you fire it in a kiln at 1250 degrees for 30 minutes.
Wow. Then you could start.
Then you can start to clean it.
And what do you do? How do you clean it?
You can use it with one of the steel brushes or a brass brush, or your
yeah, and then you could just put your beads in.
Exactly.
And you can see right there the final project. Once again, you could dangle all the beads from it, and it's just a really great idea. Thank you so much, Kristy.
You bet.
Well, up next is Katie Hacker.